All right, hello. Welcome back to Otis Frampton Live. I'm Otis Frampton, obviously. And today we're going to continue our Procreate Dreams demo. You can see on screen 3 down, 3 to go. Did a background animation, did a character animation, did weather animation. Today we're going to do lighting and visual effects. And let's get rid of this. Jump right into Procreate Dreams. Here's my file setup. I have, although the background animation is not finished, I've imported what I have. You can see there. Because today we're going to be animating lighting and visual effects on the character and the interior of the car. So, to start, I have grouped everything on the interior of the car together here. Got 3 different tracks, one for the car foreground elements here, one for the dude, as I call him, and one for the car background. Now, to do what we need to do, it's going to involve clipping masks. I'm not really big on using masks in 2D art in Procreate or Photoshop. I've always kind of avoided that. I don't like how they lock you into the mask environment. I tend to like use selections and then paint inside the selection and keep it a separate layer. But for the purposes of animation, I actually really like clipping masks because it allows you to do really cool stuff. But to do this, I had to group everything into one group, and now I'm going to show you how to create a mask real quick. Create a new track. Let's drag it above the interior group. Now, to add something to it, I need to like paint. So there we have something to start with. There, you can see got a little piece of content there. Now, what I'm going to do is group that new track and the interior group by long holding, group, wider neck group. Oops. There we go. Does it say it's grouped? That's weird. Why is it not grouping it? There we go. There we go. I don't know why I didn't group it. So now we got everything grouped here. We've got the new track with the little piece of paint. I'm going to delete these tracks. And I'm going to... Oops, turn that off. I'm going to long hold on this new piece of paint here and click on mask, clipping mask. And automatically you can see that now this piece of content here is clipped to everything inside the interior group. Even, I'll show you this, stretching this out, even the parts that are animated. You can kind of see it there. See the head movement, and the mask moves with the movement even though that's a separate layer. Everything below this new piece of content here will be clipped. So we can use that to animate it. As you can see, you move it around, it stays clipped. All right, so let's, oh my God, clear that. So now everything that we paint still clips. All right, so what we're going to do now is animate some light moving through the interior of the car onto the cop, and moving as ships move by, or fly by, I should say. So let's. Oh, I am watching the chat for those on Instagram, Rumble, and YouTube. But as I've been doing with these, I'm going to leave some time at the end of the hour for questions, so please hold until then. All right, so let's scroll along. Let's reduce that down. We're going to find there's the first passing car in the background. You can see it. Now we're going to want to put some lighting slightly before, because the idea is that the headlights of the approaching vehicle is hitting the interior of the car, and then it passes by, and obviously the light would stop hitting the inside of the at this point. So what we want to do here, Let's find it. It's right there. So we'll drag this to about here. And instead of like keyframing this light, I'm gonna paint it frame by frame. It's not gonna be on for too many frames. And let's just we're gonna line it up with the car right here so we can time it out. So let's use this bright yellow for the first color, and we'll put in some lighting here. Erase it away so that's only sort of hitting a little bit on the inside here. Maybe a little bit on his face. Now we're going to move that down to just a couple of frames. Now let's go into frame by frame mode here. Jump up here. We'll do the next one. Next frame. Little. Oh, why isn't it clipping? That's weird. Oh, that's why. I'm gonna have to group these, right? So that the whole group clips. Huh. Okay. Well, this worked before. Why is it not working now? It's weird. Let's get out of here. Let's see. Can I just... Oh, I need another track. Let's create another track. I'll duplicate this, drag this other track just so we have some content here. Oops. Come on, there we go. Group this, delete that track, delete that track. Let's open this up. Let's turn off the clipping mask for this, and then we'll turn it on for the group. There we go. There we go. Now we got the whole group clipped, if that makes any sense. And I can drag it. Should be able to go into drawing mode here. There we go. Gotta have when you're doing frame by frame, I guess you gotta have it in a group and have the group set to the clipping mask so that it works. Otherwise, the other way of doing this without having to do that, like create a whole new group, is say I just created one sort of blob of a brush stroke and animated it across. I could do that if I didn't want to be so sort of specific about where the light was hitting. Then you'd only have to have that one track or that one piece of content clipped to the layers below it. But in this case, I'm going to do multiple frames. So here we go. Got that one. Got this one. Now we're going to add some more light. Now another one. Sort of erase away there. And then the last one will just be sort of up here. Okay. I'll tweak it probably, but let's see how fast that goes across. Goes fast. It's fast enough because where's the car come across? Actually, that timing is pretty good, but I'm probably gonna draw. Drag this group a little bit over. Now let's see the timing. Let's see it play out. Drag it a little bit further. Come on. There we go. Okay. Timing's pretty good. Works fine. Now we're going to set this entire rename this entire group moving light, and we're going to set it the blend mode to, let's try add first, because we don't want it to look. Actually, let me change that so you can. Yeah. Okay. So we had it set to normal, and as you can see, it just looks like, you know, solid color moving across. We don't want that. We want it to shine through, sort of like its actual light. So let's change the layer mode to add. It gives a little bit more of a sense of light. Yeah. Now I also go up here to the main group. We'll do a filter, click on opacity, and we'll lower it down a little bit like that. There. Now it looks like a streaking light, not too bright. Probably going to add a little bit more, but that works. Let's close that up. Actually, let me change this to give it a highlight of yellow so it looks like it's light. And now we'll play this from the beginning just to see what it looks like as it's moving along. Yep, that looks pretty good. Just a quick flash of light. There's going to be a bunch of these because there's like 8 to 10 car flybys, and I'm going to give each one a slightly different color, so it doesn't look like the same light moving across. But now we have sort of our template for the light move. And easy way to change the color of that light once I move these across is to add another. To add another filter and do an HSB filter, and you can just use the hue and saturation, see how it goes from yellow to blue. So now it's a blue light, and I'll do that with each of the new ones. Okay, but we've got our template set up for the moving light. Okay, delete this track. Yeah, now I don't need that track anymore. Now, let's go into, or let's actually, now we're gonna go in here and we're gonna create a little bit of a reflection of the light going across the guy's visor, just to give it a little bit more of a verisimilitude, I guess is the word I'm looking for. You know, to add to the flowing light. So we're going to do it within this same folder of moving light, because we already have the clipping mask set on there. There's two ways that you could do this. One is to do the moving light on the guy's helmet before you animate the head, which, you know, might have been fine, but you can still do it while the head is animated, because it'll clip it and you can just paint it on. We're doing frame by frame anyway, so it doesn't even matter. Hope that makes sense. So let's go here, we'll add another track, and we will go in here, and now we've already got the sequence. It's going to be four frames, I guess. So let's get back to the drawing mode. Got my light. I'm going to switch brushes here, something a little more solid, and we'll go in here. Let's get a little bit larger. Oops. It might not be. I might want to do this separately, actually, even though we have it. Yeah, I'm going to do this separately because I'm going to want to have the we don't want to have it. Oh shoot! I can't. I gotta do it like that. All right. Oh, that's fine. I can double up if I need to. So there's one. Now let's go up here into drawing mode. We've got it all set up. Come on, flip up there. Why is it not? Oh, got to be on the right track for it to work. There we go. All right. So next frame. Let's make sure that onion skins are on so that I can see what I'm doing. Give it a bright red. There. Now we can see the previous drawing really easily. I'll start at the edge of that. Go here. Let's paint that in. Next frame, start at the edge. Do a color drop. There we go. And the final frame. Tweak it a little bit here. So one thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go back and change something that I did here. Where I had the opacity, I'm going to delete the opacity track on this just for now, because I want the reflection to be a little brighter. So I'm going to have to actually let's see, can I group these? Group, it still works. There, now I have those grouped. Now I can do an opacity on the entire group of these. There we go. And I'm also going to group these. Oops. The new reflections. There we go. And I'm going to change the blend mode to add also. Let's try overlay. No, that's fine. Let's see how it looks as it moves. There, now you can see it a little better when it moves across. And I'm going to want to add another one, an opacity filter. Well, reduce it down to about there. Yes, and not finally. Let's add another filter. Let's give it a little bit of a blur. So it's a little bit of. Oh, that's the opacity. Sorry. Get that back down. Here's the blur. Let's give it a little bit of a blur, so it's not as sharp. And finally, we're going to add a, oh, actually no, we're going to go back to our opacity filter. Sorry. There's the keyframe. Now we're going to drag this over here to the end of the sequence, and then we're going to drop the opacity on that last frame so that it kind of starts bright and gets less bright over time. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. There, like that. Perfect. So now you can see the entire sequence with the lights. Yeah, that works. The lights coming in as the cars kind of coming by. Yeah, that works. So I'm probably gonna go in and do even more detail. I might drag this layer, the foreground layer, above into its own layer group, and animate light moving over that separately so that it looks a little bit offset. Because right now it's just coming across the entire background. But I might want to make it a little bit more specific. There we go. That's the basics, though. Layer management and group management is a big issue with regard to making sure that your clipping masks work right. I have the clipping mask set to this entire layer group, so it always moves across the layer below it, which is actually the group consisting of the foreground, the dude, which is separated into different layers, and the background of the car. But because the clipping mask is set to the whatever's below it, it animates across the entire thing. And then you got to keep your new animation organized well enough so that it moves across like that. I think it's pretty good. It works. Now, like I said, there's so many more car passes, so there's going to be a lot more light. And yeah, the idea I wanted to get across was kind of like, he was kind of rocking out in his own little private disco with, the swirling lights and stuff. Hello over to the commenters over on YouTube. I will have time at the end of this demo for questions, so please hold off. So, yeah. Anyway, the idea is I wanted it to look like he was in his own little private disco, And there's, to those who've watched the previous episodes of this demo, there's music playing and he's kind of rocking out to it. Now, let's see. Something else that we can do, one thing I want to do is sort of animate the control panels. And you can do that again by creating a new track. Why didn't it do that? Did it create it inside this group? No. Let's go up here. There we go. Create a new track. Actually, let's create 2 tracks. Can I group these without there being content? Doesn't look like it. That's unfortunate. All right. So we're gonna add some lights to the buttons, and go all the way back to the beginning here. Go back into drawing mode. Let's grab an orange color. We'll use warm colors. Well, we'll use all kinds of colors, I guess, for the lights. Let's grab a brush here. I'm not gonna want to have these moving too much, but let's duplicate that so I can just group this up right now. There, group that, clean up our tracks. So we're going to set this everything in this group. Let's rename it buttons, and we'll set the layer mode, blend mode to. Nope, that didn't work. Why did it change? That's weird. Why did it change everything? Oh, that's weird. It grouped everything. Oh, I'm frustrated now. Looks like I'm gonna have to do this inside this. We'll do it in the interior group. I don't know what was screwing up there, but we'll do it here. We'll add a new track here. Sorry about that. Procreate Dreams can be kind of funky sometimes. Why didn't it create a new track? Come on, buddy. There we go. All right, now we can do this. We're not going to need to clip this or anything, so let's try this again. Set the layer mode to overlay. No, I guess we have to use, that's better. I'll set it to add. Let's rename this buttons. Now we're probably just gonna keep this to one layer because I'm gonna go in and individually like. Oh, maybe I won't. I haven't decided yet. For now, though, let's set the opacity on this down. Let's reduce it just so it's not too bad. There we go. Now I can go in, it's in different colors, let's use green. I have one here. What I might do is just have sort of, random on and off, buttons being, randomized on and off. Like in the movies, just sort of ridiculous patterns. So how long is that? I'll say that long. Then we'll duplicate this content. Let's erase that, and then we can just, it shows that's the previous one, but that's fine. Now we can just go in and add some more. And they should move over time. Yep. Simple movement, not too much. And I'm going to do that, for across the entire timeline. I'll go in and I'll add flashing buttons to these buttons here. Maybe do something with the rest of the dashboard. But for now, you can see it's just a simple case of having things on and off. And now things are starting to come to life. All right, cool. Let's see. So that's, well, I was gonna say that's it, but let's go back up into the moving light here. Now, the moving light's fine, but when it's most intense, I think I want to add an even more intense sort of burst of light, like around the glass here. Now to do that, I'm not going to have I don't need to be in that group because I don't want it masked. So let's go down to the interior. There we go. So the interior group is its own group. I'm going to go down here. I'm going to create a new track. I'm going to drag the car background above it. This is our new track. So if we go to where the light's starting to hit, probably on frame 2 here, I'm going to want to add a little burst of like light on the glass. Just sort of, let's set this to add. Oh, you know what? It looks like because it's in that group, it's not going to actually affect what I want it to affect, which is the background. So let's drag this out of that group. It didn't change it either. That's, oh, it didn't drag it out of the group, did it? Why is it not doing that? All right. Oh, Procreate Dreams, you can be so finicky sometimes. I'll drag it way down there. Delete that track. Drag this. Come on. There it is. Okay. Now it's affecting the layer below it. You can see when I change it back to normal mode. Let's see what happens with the overlay. No, I want it to be add. Yeah, I want that sort of burst of interesting light there, but not as bright. So let's drop the opacity. Just a little bit of different light on the windows as it goes by, if that makes sense. I think I want it to extend out one more frame. There, that's better. Here's without. And there's with. It just adds a little bit of different light that's not hitting the interior of the car. It's like a reflected light. Now again, I'm gonna have to go back and add that for each of the light passes, but it'll be worth it in the end. I'll definitely give it a good look. All right, that was a quick one today. That's pretty much it. Now the process from here on is just going to be duplicating that across the timeline to coincide with each of the car flybys. Oh, come on, there we go. So there's the whole timeline. You can see I've already done one, and I think there's like 10 car flybys at least. But that kind of thing, with this kind of limited animation, that kind of lighting really adds life. Yeah, that works really well, actually. Really adds life to a scene. It's a small thing, but it's effective. Okay, let's get out of drawing mode there. Excellent. All right, I'm going to open it up for questions if anybody has any questions. Otherwise, that's pretty much it for the day. I apologize for all the little mistakes and stuff. Sometimes you got to work your way through it. I've done some prep work on this, but part of me wanted to sort of see if I could wing it. And so, sometimes showing the mistakes and the assumptions that you make with programs like this can help other people work out the same things and see, oh, that's why that mistake didn't work. Oh, that's why you have to do it like this. And I don't use Procreate Dreams enough to know it completely inside and out, so that's why sometimes I have to work around things. But I will say this: once you know the ins and outs, and prior to this, I spent a while working on little shorts right when it came out. So there was a point in time when I did know the ins and outs very well, but I'm kind of jumping back into it. Anyway, it can be helpful to see people, make mistakes. Not everybody's perfect. I think one of the problems with social media is that it presents perfection across the board, and that's just not the case. Sometimes you got to make mistakes to move forward. So, anybody in YouTube over there have any questions? There was a question: which iPad are you using? This is the newest M4 iPad with 512 gigabytes of storage, but this is the latest one. I skipped a generation, so I had previously been using, I think it was the 2015 iPad? I forget. But yeah, this is the newest model. I love it. It's great. Of course, I don't notice the increase in speed now that I've been using it for a while, but when I first got it, I could feel it. I could really feel how much more powerful it was. It's really great. And can't wait for the next one. All right. I think that's about it for today. I will be back. Let me just jump out of here real quick. And jump back into Procreate. So, that was lighting and visual effects. Next up is camera effects. I'm not sure if we'll have all of the animation for the lighting and all that done by the time that I do this camera test demo, but I'll be able to show you how I'll do it and how it's done. It's actually a really simple thing, and it adds so much to the animation once you know this little trick. All right, and so that's Wednesday on the 15th at 2 p.m. So thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff on X, Instagram, Rumble, YouTube, and Facebook, the 5 places that I stream to. And I'll see you tomorrow for some comic book stuff. Take care.